Hello, this is Simon Hobbs from Melbourne. Today I want to talk about the node class or any entity class and the idea of subclassing it using object-oriented code in PHP. We're looking at three bundles of nodes here, three node types, three content types: article, basic page, and event. And the idea is that on a site build, we want to add some business logic to one of these or any of these. And it actually is not easy to do this in Drupal in a really nice object-oriented way. We usually write a helper class or we write some code, some hooks in code, and it's difficult to kind of centralize all that code around the bundle itself, around a specific bundle class. And it hasn't been easy to subclass the node class, put simply. So looking at this patch for this issue on Drupal core, which I think has got a pretty good chance of landing at some point. And it's quite a long issue, and the idea is that allowing entities to be subclassed using bundle classes. So how can we use this? I have taken a patch from the bottom. I've taken this 9.2 patch provided by DWW for people with composer builds. And if I jump over to my code, I've created a module called model for my content model. And I've got my composer JSON here with the patch applied. So what I'm demonstrating here is this patch has been applied. I've run composer update, it's applied the patch, it's running locally. And then on my site, I have these three content types. And what I want to do is I want to add a method to the article bundle, and the method that's only available on the article bundle. So my code, I've created, as I said, I've created a new module called model, content model, controls the content model for this site, fantastic. And I've created a node article class, and that node article class extends the node class. So it's actually extending the Drupal core node class, the node entity class. And it's extending it, and it's also adding a method called hello world that just returns hello world. I've also, just to give you an understanding of what that looks like across different entity types, I've also created one here for my paragraph bundle called sequence. And it's the same deal. I'm extending the paragraph class and then adding a method. But I'll just demonstrate the node article class today. The next step is to tell Drupal about this new class, and so we implement hook entity bundle info alter. So that's hook entity bundle info alter. And we're just basically understanding the array structure there and telling Drupal that we have a node article class that only applies to article bundles of nodes. Not much more to say about that. Pretty simple, just have to know how to do it. So to demonstrate this working, what I will now do is just go to the content that I have on my site, and let's just have a look at it. So we've got my basic page, and I've got a second post and a cheese pie node. So the first thing I'll do is I will load this basic page, and if I hover over the edit button, I see that it is node 3. Okay. In my terminal, I've connected into my local site and where I can run drush commands. So I'll run drush PHP to start a PHP session. And I will use a very simple way to load the node, not sexy, it just works. So using a static method to load the node. So we're going to load node 3, which is that basic page. Okay, if I go node get title, we can see it's my basic page. And then in theory, I shouldn't be able to call this method called hello world. So node hello world. Okay, great. So the idea there is that it's illogical to have this method on my basic page. So there's some business logic in here that means it doesn't make any sense. However, it should be available on an article node. So now we'll load node 2, which is an article. We'll grab the title and just confirm we've got the right node. And now if we run hello world, we then get the result. The other thing I want to say now is just why, what's an example of how you would use this, and just a really common example that I've encountered in many sites is, and it's not always to do with bundles, but it is to do with business logic. So the idea here that we've got some node types that where we need to be able to get a short title, and the short title might be used in a breadcrumb or a sidebar. And so this is just the example of what the business logic might look like. We may or may not have a field called field short title. It may or may not have a value, and then we're doing some calculations to determine the return result. And normally a normal solution for this is to put it in some sort of helper class, and that helper class kind of sits separately to the actual node class, and doesn't really sit neatly in terms from an object-oriented point of view. So this is just giving us the nice way to write logic against our bundle classes. That's all for today. If you have any questions about what you've seen, please ask questions, and I'll respond in the comments below. Thank you very much.